So let's talk conservation. So conservation or preservation is a component of archives management. It's what most people think of. There's a difference between restorative conservation and preventative conservation. Um, so a critical component of archives management is knowing the proper facility and environment controls to maximize longevity of archival records. Um, Environmental controls such as relative humidity and temperature are also important when dealing with storage of electronic or digital records. Conservation or preservation of material now includes the use of digitization when copyright is allowed. There's a section on digitization that I'll discuss later, and issues regarding digitization the archives need to consider. So conservation focuses on the physical care and maintenance of archival materials. So this includes cleaning, repair, and storage. There's two types of conservation practiced in archives. There's restorative conservation, which consists of the detail work required to repair archival materials that have suffered actual physical damage. And the intent of restorative conservation is to repair the damage, not to return the document to its original state or add material that's been lost. The techniques or materials should not threaten the original, and it's important that restorative work is visible. Only a trained conservator should practice restorative conservation. In contrast, preventative conservation concentrates on preventing deterioration and loss of physical integrity of archival materials. It affects all the holdings of an archives and is part of the responsibility of all staff. It's the most important of the two types and is the focus of this video. So there are a number of conservation issues associated with it. With archival materials, first of all, there's the general question of what should be preserved, the artifact or the information. An archivist has to assess if a document is replaceable or made of unstable materials such as newsprint. They'll sometimes be lost if the original or document does not survive. Will there be lost details? So example, like a photo, is there intrinsic value in the original? Will a copy be accurate, and can information be properly added later? From an ethical standpoint, the first goal in an archive is to preserve the integrity of the record. There may be frequent demand for access on a fragile original document that can't be easily accommodated. There's also the broader issue of the sheer amount of material at risk, which can often render treatment of individual items difficult.